I'm fighting to figure out what makes people happy. And today, I'm with someone who doesn't just compete, she dominates. This is Margot Ciccarelli. So today I'm headed out to interview a BBJ fighter. Champion fighter, she's in Hong Kong for a little bit, so I thought it'd be interesting to ask them what makes her happy and why she does what she does. Let's go. Making my way into the dojo. It's interesting because I actually never meet any of the people I'm really interviewing. I just kind of go in blind, send them a message, say, hey, what's up? What makes you happy? I want to do an interview. And most of them tend to say yes, which I'm pretty happy about. Some people give me a little hard time, or we got to think about what we want to shoot after. Because the sad part is the viral stuff is what we have to plan out a bit more. But now we're at Temple Jiu-Jitsu. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Hi. I'm cool. Hello. I feel like I've seen you before somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like
Have you? No way. You've only seen him around
I'm cool. Nice to meet you.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going, man? How we doing this? Going. All right, so now I have to put on this uniform because we're getting ready to get my ass whooped. Oh, I'm gonna get so hurt. It's gonna be so fun. No, I'm just joking. What's it tight?
Honestly, I'm one of the most chill competitors you'll find.
Are you?
I used to do Chinese martial arts when I was younger and stuff, so I've like done jiu-jitsu the last 13 years.
Yeah.
I have like a philosophy that the way that I like to train is a blend between soft and hard, internal and external. So it's much less of a sport and more so like a martial art.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just started this series like basically a week and a half ago.
Oh, it was only a week and a half ago because I saw I don't remember her name, but the dancer.
Yeah. So then I'm just trying to grow this and make sure, I just want to make sure people understand that there's a lot of ways to be happy, although some may be superficial. Everybody is suffering.
Valid.
Yeah, but everybody's also suffering, even if you don't see it. You know, like someone like you may be fighting and really strong in real life, but maybe there's some demons in the back, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. They're discussing on how to make sure I get very hurt on this.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be, I know, I'm fine. I trust you.
Just sit close, I'll show you one type of chill. Yeah, so I'm gonna go behind you. Literally somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. So, bow and arrow, technically I have to find a way in to the back.
Yeah.
I'm through here, and I'm using my legs.
Okay.
Basically choking from here.
Okay. At this point, we must have tried so many different throws and combos just to make sure the video looks good.
Yeah, and you just grab up. Yeah. And he's grabbing. Yeah, perfect.
Margot is a world-class jiu-jitsu athlete who started a career in Hong Kong and rose to the very top of the sport. She fought for the best, beat the best, and built her entire life around discipline, pressure, and consistent evolution. We're going to be talking about happiness today and what was her lowest times.
There you go. Well, let's do that one more time.
I want to ask you a question. What makes you happy?
Me, jiu-jitsu is about having a relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
So if I understand myself, I can understand you better. It actually improves my relationships because jiu-jitsu is a non-verbal dialogue. So every time I'm fighting someone, I'm not thinking about, I'm trying to win or trying to lose. Like that's the competitive side of it. Actually, the cool part for me is like I'm learning about who you are as a person, and I'm better learning about my own strengths and weaknesses. Some people are super aggressive fighters, some people are more like counter players. So the way I actually personally like to describe this is like we have a speaker and a listener. So if I'm always being super aggressive with you, actually I'm not giving you any opportunities to talk in the conversation. It's kind of like when you meet someone for the first time and you're just like you don't actually let them talk about themselves. You're always the one that's talking. So I think the greatest thing that jiu-jitsu actually gave to me is like how to be a better communicator.
Yeah.
And how to build better depth in relationships, especially, we're like grappling, wrestling around on the ground. Like you're doing very intimate, awkward movements with people that you often don't know, like we're just meeting for the first time. So, it's just like, oh, okay, well,
had your balls in my face.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know what I mean? So I think like over the years, what I've found that jiu-jitsu really allows me to better understand myself. It allows me to also, like, if there's ever a problem in my life, I feel like jiu-jitsu has equipped me in such a way that I know nothing can get worse than really
being choked out.
Getting choked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, when I started Jiu-Jitsu, I was 18 and a half in Hong Kong. I didn't know I was going to do it professionally, and I had a very traditional route. Like, my parents wanted me to be an engineer and stuff. And I just fell in love with the art, and I wanted to go against the grain and follow my dreams, follow my heart, which eventually became like dedicating my life. For the last 13 years, I just pursued Jiu-Jitsu, and my best friend that you also just met soon, that I really encourage him, like, hey dude, like, you have the potential to be world class. If you want to pursue this, now's the time. We have to break the stigma of like, this isn't a career path.
Yeah. So how did you get into it at first, and what made you fall in love with it, other than the fact that, it's a combat sport, and I know there is a good community around it. You said that you learn a lot about this, but at the beginning, what made you fall in love with the sport?
I had a movement background in Chinese martial arts, and the first time that I was exposed to Jiu-Jitsu was actually by a friend in the UK. He saw that I did Chinese martial arts, and he was like, hey, you already do all this martial arts, like, why don't you try Jiu-Jitsu?
And it was trendy back in the day, right? When MMA first started.
Exactly. It was starting to get a little bit trendy. And I was like, why not? I'm always a person that, like, I want to try everything at least once. So I tried it, and actually all the martial arts experience that I had never led me to doing much on the floor. Like, grappling is mainly a ground-based sport.
Yeah.
You're often on your back in a lot of awkward positions. And for me, I was already in martial arts almost 10 plus years at the time. I was like, damn, I know so little in this area. So it became really a passion project. I was very curious just to learn more about the sport. And I think it naturally taught me how to grow as a person. Because I ended up, in Jiu-Jitsu, it's a martial art where there's more sparring than any other martial art. So you get to meet a lot of different people, you get to spar with a lot of different people. But at the beginning, actually, I wasn't interested at all in competition. I was kind of forced into it. And I started competing while I was in Hong Kong, and I realized that I was good at it. So I just naturally continued to pursue it. I wasn't really sure like what my career path was going to be at the time. Because at the time I was still like studying engineering and stuff. Like I had
do you find the engineering background of like the math and the physics help you a bit in this, or no?
Actually, I think there are a lot of like principles of physics, even like really basic shit like force equals mass times acceleration. So you understand, as a smaller player, it's like I'm considered like on the smaller side of the sport. I can still produce more force if I'm just accelerating more.
Kind of like
I don't need to be stronger. You know? But actually, just being more speed based allows me to perform better. So I can still beat bigger individuals. For example, like recently I did a competition where it was a teams event, so it was 5 versus 5, not all at once. But
that'd be fun.
If I win, I keep going. So I fought 5 people, like one after another, but it was open weight as well. So it's really fucking cool just to see how like, like you can still have great advantage by understanding physics and all this stuff. It's a really brainy sport overall. It's not as meatheadish as some people portray in MMA.
I guess because Joe Rogan, right? He's although like the god of like every podcast and everything, people still see him as a meathead, you know?
100%,
Doing this sport, you're kind of like boxed in to being like, oh, you're a Trump supporter, this and that, especially if you're in America, right? Which is a weird thing to do, but the discipline that I know fighters have is amazing, especially coming from martial arts. And in martial arts, like a lot of smaller, they always say like a small opponent can beat a bigger opponent, and you're proving that to everybody. Have you ever lost, and what did you feel after? Like something big that you were really practicing for and you really wanted to win, but it didn't happen.
I think I have a very interesting relationship with failure and loss because I see everything as data. Whether I win or lose, I actually just try to observe everything and see how I can do better naturally. So I think like there's been a couple of times in the last year that I've lost competitions, but I still felt a lot of growth from this. For me as a teacher and as a practitioner, I'm very growth mindset oriented. And the times where I did lose, like I don't let myself have an emotional response about it. Like I'll process it. I always say I have a rule. You have 48 hours to process your emotions, and after that, you really have to take the steps to understand. Okay, like really, what went wrong? Was it a technical deficiency? Was it timing deficiency? Was it really that you weren't locked in with your S&C? Was it you weren't locked in about your recovery? You haven't been sleeping enough? Like, what was it that actually happened? You know, I think it really forces you to focus on all the little things.
Yeah. Do you do that in your real life scenario too? Like, let's say something happens, not fighting related, and you're like, you know what? I got 48 hours to be on my ass sad, but other than that, I gotta process it, understand it.
Always.
Yeah.
Because for me, there's not really much separation between the fighting and real life. Actually, the way that we respond in a stressful scenario, this is just practice for real life.
Yeah, it's fight or flight, right? You're always
like
keep pushing or tap out.
Even if I had a corporate job, you know, that nothing is more real than getting choked out. You know? So if I can still be zen in a moment of high stress, I try to apply this to every situation in life. So even my partner is like, why are you so chill? Everything's like fucking falling apart.
Yeah, my partner's like that too. She's always like, how are you always smiling? So for me, smiling through adversity is the best thing you can do. Nothing can bother me. You know, I have videos where I'm like trapped in the elevator with my mom. I'm crammed against the wall. It's completely overloaded. Right. And we're still smiling. Because in that situation, what can you do?
You're still okay.
Yeah. And if you're being choked out and you're stressing, you will lose more oxygen. Kind of same thing, right?
Right. 100%. And I feel like we are so far away in society from being able to stay present. We're always already thinking about the next thing. And I think in Jiu-Jitsu, the main thing that you were taught about is you can't be thinking 5 steps ahead.
Yeah.
When we train to try and understand, okay, what will the end outcome be? But you have to be locked into like what's happening right now.
Yeah, where the leg is, what's going on, There's no space,
And then subconsciously, you can find the path.
Yeah.
But you don't just suddenly like, oh, I can't always think like the step 6 that I want to do is actually the step 6 that's going to happen. Because in life, like, even if you walk down the street, I can't guarantee what's going to happen. Will I make it to the MTR exactly the way that I want to? You know what I mean? Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So what makes you genuinely happy other than fighting? Because I know it's something that can take your mind off of things, but what genuinely makes you happy?
What genuinely makes me happy? Honestly, I think I've been asking myself this question a lot recently. And I think there's for me, it's a very beautiful phrase that I took from my old instructor, who's based in New York. And the school slogan is hard work by good people. And I think for me, that really made me think, being a former nomad, I used to travel around the world always by myself. I'm with people, but I'm with people in a training setting, you know? So I kind of was like a Ronin. I realized over the years that the moments that I felt the most happiness was when I was spending time with other people, sharing my arts with other people, but also improving other people's quality of life, being in service to others. I found that pursuing my competitive goals and such, even when I won, you still always see there's a very cliche pose that I have on the podium. I'm just always poker face. I'm not smiling. Win, first place, third place, or no place, I have all the same emotional response. But when I'm sharing the art with people, when I can see that they're enjoying themselves more, even off of the mat, if I'm able to make someone laugh, for me that holds a lot more weight than actually anything else that I could do for myself.
What is your hardest time in life, and how did you get out of it?
I think a recent moment that was really difficult for me, because as you probably can tell, my identity it's largely around movement. It's not only about movement, but it's a large part of my life, and this chapter of my current life is being a movement artist and a competitor. And I funnily enough, 2 years ago in Hong Kong, I did a 70-mile trail run, and after that I went straight into my competition season. So is it
Four Trails?
North Face.
Okay. You should try Four Trails.
I'll check it out. But I did it, and it was all fine. I went into the competition season, but the nature of fighting sports is we cut weight, so you're always on a deficit. It's easier to get injured and stuff. I started accumulating a series of different injuries. I have a plate in this foot.
Oh my god, that's why he kicked me so hard.
But I started accumulating foot injury, knee injury. I started to get nerve impingement in my hip.
Yeah.
I forgot how to squat. So I started losing my ability to move.
Yeah. While you teach people how to move, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a very troubling time for me because I make a living from movement.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine you can't tattoo anymore. It's
But
like
you know what they say?
hands.
Those who can't teach, those who can't do, teach.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But for you actually have to show people how to do it. You got to show the movement. Yeah.
So it was a really challenging time. Like I couldn't focus on competing like immediately, while that was still the near-sighted goal. I was really like, damn, like I'm a very optimistic person and I try my best to stay present. But those were some moments where I felt like it was extremely difficult because even getting out of a car suddenly became a difficult task. Sitting for long periods of time, but when I say long, 20 minutes was long. So I couldn't sit without pain. I couldn't get out of the car.
No, I'm like that every day. Literally, I'm like that every day.
But man, I was like, damn, like even when I tried to train, I couldn't really do it. So I decided just to become as locked in about the recovery and the rehab instead of thinking about, well, I can't train right now. Instead of just forcing. I'm not being productive.
So it's a change of a mindset, right? Putting the same energy into training, into rehab.
But also learning to slow down.
Yeah.
It's not always the gas pedal, because it's so easy to glamorize like gas pedal. We live in a society that is so results driven as well. It's hard to embrace the process because the process isn't always sexy, you know what I mean? And I think during this time, the process definitely wasn't sexy. When I think back, I was like, man, I was complaining all the time, like, oh, I wish like it would just go away, But I knew this speech wasn't productive.
Yeah.
So,
The negative speech to yourself always makes it worse and worse and worse. You get into a deeper hole.
Yeah, so I was really thinking, okay, during this time, I tried to take a step back and not make my identity just about moving. I spent almost a year saying, hey, like, I'm not going to care about outcomes. I'm still going to compete, but I'm just going to do the best to my ability to stay in the present moment and enjoy the other experiences life has to offer for me.
Yeah.
So another thing that's really close to my heart is that age is a construct.
Yeah.
As we get older, we're like, oh, I should have achieved certain things by age 30. I should have achieved certain things by age 35. Especially the workforce is getting younger and younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like actually you're it's cheesy, but you're as young as you feel.
Yes.
Like, I'm 32 right now.
Yeah.
I started when I was 18 and a half. And actually, like, I only feel like I'm reaching my peak now. So
30s is where it's at, I heard. I'm young. 100%. I'm like 22 and a half.
Dude, so yeah.
I'm joking. I'm older than you are. What do you find the difference of living in LA and Hong Kong? I know you kind of go both ways.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself happier over there or in Hong Kong?
So this is a great question. I find myself way happier in Hong Kong. And I think because a large part of my identity, I strongly associate Hong Kong with my grandmother. And my grandmother is a very special type of Chinese woman because I feel from everything that I've heard from my friends and other family relatives, there's a very strong idea in Asian culture that you need to do things a certain way, She never pushed me to do anything that I didn't want to do. She doesn't care about me being a doctor. She doesn't care about me being an engineer. She doesn't care like I'm bisexual. She doesn't give a shit about that stuff. And like
that's the best thing in the world to be, man. You can do anything you want.
She always told me, life is short.
Yeah.
Choose what makes you happy. Choose
exactly.
Like every day you have to choose happiness.
Yeah.
But I see she practices what she preaches.
Which is hard. It's so hard in a Chinese person to do.
It's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But she always made me feel really safe in Hong Kong versus actually I'm way closer to her than my own parents who live in London. And I think because of that connection, that relationship that I have with her, I associate that with Hong Kong. Hong Kong feels like a very safe city as well. I always feel I don't have to care about someone stabbing me or someone shooting me.
But you can,
Bruce Lee their ass,
you know?
But I feel like this is such a great city. It's easy to get around. It's
Yeah.
super safe. But the connection that I have with her and what she gave to me is what I wish to give to others.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, I actually just want to make people happy. When they come in the room, I don't care if you're going to be a competitor. I don't care like if you actually end up being good at jiu-jitsu, but if you're able to have some type of stress relief or you leave the room happier than when you came in, that for me is the definition of success.
Yeah.
Because even as a competitor, of course I want to win stuff, but the ultimate goal is that I'm following a meaningful pursuit to myself that continues to make me happy on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I think that would be the greatest takeaway and the greatest thing that I preach to other people is like, really, if you follow your heart and you're happy, no matter what you do, you're probably going to be successful
Yeah.
at it.
What an amazing interview. I learned a lot by talking to her. Super strong individual, and I didn't expect this kind of mindset, especially from a fighter. A lot of times you meet fighters and they're all about, power, strength and all that, but she had this very calm mentality to her where it's all about using other people's powers and learning about their mindset in order to fight them. So that is something new, and taking that fighter mentality into the real world, overcoming a lot of situations, really taught me a lot. Thinking about joining jiu-jitsu. What do you guys think?